What? Are y'all recording that? Oh my gosh. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. My name is Ed Howie, and this is Howie Grow a Brand. If you like what you learned from this video, help us promote this channel by clicking the like button below and subscribing to our channel, Howie Grow a Brand. Ready to go? Let's get into today's chat. How do you make a brand nostalgic? Well, you know, you gotta be around for more than a year to be nostalgic, that's for sure. However, you know, maybe if you've been around since 2019, there's a lot of things we'd like to go back to from 2-3 years ago. The reality is that nostalgia just warms our heart, and nostalgia is one of those exponential parts of building a brand that when you tap into it authentically, it creates emotional connection with your brand that could be just by itself a commodity like coffee or corn or something like that. The reality is the nostalgia, reckoning to times past and the relationship and the emotions that were at that moment just create a much more dynamic relationship between consumer, community, and brand than just a transaction of purchasing a product from you. All right. And so, you know, a lot of times we're all about how to create a new brand. Well, I want to speak to all of us who are like wanting to create something new, but I also want to talk to those of us that are leading and influencing brands that have been around 5, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years. The question is, if you are established, are you deliberately tapping into the legacy of your brand? And if you're new, are you deliberately creating an emotional connection today that will create fond memories of your brand 20 years from now? Because we have to be deliberate with the way that we connect with our community. And the way we do that is through the emotional connection beyond just the transactional connection. Nostalgia, authentic nostalgia, is real, and it creates sales results. So we talk a lot about cereal here at Howie Grow a Brand. We're going to talk a lot more about cereal, but I want you to think about a couple of key facts when it comes to consumers' cereal purchases. First is, a study by Shopkick revealed that 96% of U.S. consumers buy cereal every time they shop. Okay? Now, that number sounds astronomical to me. However, then you look about how much cereal is available on that 180 feet of grocery shelves, and you go, wow, as we've said before, if it's not selling, they're not going to put it on the shelf, especially a product that can go stale, and it must be selling. But here is one of the things that has the most significant effect on adults' purchase of cereal. It's not just what their kids eat, it's what they ate as a kid. It's what we ate as a kid. Christy Stromberg, Chief Marketing Officer of Shopkick, reported to Bakery and Snacks that when it comes to cereal, the pull of nostalgia is extremely strong, and people have a deep loyalty to the brands and flavors they love and want to be able to foster and share that bond with their own kids. Well, while my daughter doesn't like peanut butter, and that is like the only defect I've ever found in her, thankfully, our son does. And while his favorite cereal as like a 4-year-old was Raisin Bran, his second favorite cereal was my first favorite cereal, which is Peanut Butter Captain Crunch. Now, while Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the #1 flavor reported of favorite cereal flavors to Shopkick, in Ed Howie's world, Peanut Butter Captain Crunch reigns supreme. the captain reigns supreme. Now, let me tell you that even to the point where we were just my family in North Carolina at the beach, and one of the required purchases at the Food Lion was peanut butter Captain Crunch, and that box was empty before the week was out, and I was not the only one that ate it. Now, you see that peanut butter Captain Crunch, almost every time I pour some of that into my cereal bowl, it just reminds me of days past, of growing up as a kid, of fun memories, of mornings before school, all that kind of stuff. It taps into emotion. Plus, the commercials and the messaging and the flavor and all that comes together to be a powerful combination of a relationship that I've established with the captain. All right. So what relationship have you established with your customers over the years, and are you tapping into the emotion of that relationship? Now, what's crazy about this is that so oftentimes we focus on wanting to be new and different, and new is a powerful claim for a brand. I believe, especially after the last 12, 18, 24 months we've been through, is that there is great affection and there is great adoration for things that are predictable and things that are established as well. So the question is, if you're an established brand, what are you doing to tap into the nostalgic brand equity you've created over time with your customers and community? And if you're a newer brand, if you are not creating an emotional connection today with your customers, then you will have no nostalgia to tap into 20 years from now. So, how do we create nostalgia? Well, first, we create an experience that is emotional, that is something more than transactional, and that it connects the customer, your customer, with an experience beyond the procurement of product or service from you. It comes back to one of our principles of Woo, which is to sell the reward, not the product. What is the reward for choosing peanut butter Captain Crunch over all the other flavors? It's because, frankly, whenever I treat myself to it, I smile. The reward is that peanut butter Captain Crunch makes me smile. How do you make your customer smile? How have you made your customer smile? And you need to remind them of the smiles they create. So the first thing you have to do is you have to remind your customers of the relationship they had with you in the past. Now, we have a video about top 5 on our website at howie.com. It's free. You can go to it, enter your email. You can watch it for free. Let me tell you that one of the things we talk about is who are the 5 customers you miss the most? That is a pathway to retapping nostalgic revenue acquisition, okay, is that they may have just forgotten about you, but they didn't lose the love for you. They forgot about you. So remind your existing customers, anyone who's ever interacted with your brand, that you exist and how you're different. So remind. Second is recall what you did for them. Recall, meaning call back on the equity you had established with them 20 years ago and let them know that you still have it as well as you have it today, but even in more new and improved ways. So remind them of the relationship they have with you, recall that, and bring it forward by helping them see how you can still do that for them and more. And then third, reinforce it with emotion. Reinforce it by tapping into the feeling you want them to have from the experience of the brand, not just the function. So if you're a new brand, be deliberate about the connection you're making with your customers, because it's not just a connection for today. It's a connection that your customers are going to be sharing with their next generation of family, friends, and community. If you do it right, and if you do it authentically, and if you do it where it means more than just basically a sweetened corn and oat cereal. Peanut butter Captain Crunch is way more than sweetened corn and oat cereal to me, and apparently is that way to a lot of other people. Now, let me tell you, what is crazy about the emotional connection of brand is that your customers and your community can love your brand even if they don't buy your product. And let me tell you, why does that matter? Well, that matters because your brand has resonance beyond the transaction. And if you can do that with people who don't even buy your product, then imagine what the connection is like for people who feel about your brand the way they do, and they also love your actual product, okay? My daughter knows exactly how I and we feel about peanut butter Captain Crunch, even though she doesn't like peanut butter. She still has a positive connection, even with a product she doesn't eat. Let me tell you, I don't share this with everybody, but I hate coffee. I do not drink coffee. I dislike coffee.
I just don't get it already. It's the first sip.
It's really bitter.
I truly dislike coffee. All right. I like what coffee's about. I like the smell. I dislike coffee. One of my favorite brands in the world is all because Peter came home.
Thanks a lot. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Everyone's asleep.
I know how to wake them up. Come on.
How you doing,
Best wishes for this and all your mornings from Folgers.
This Folgers commercial from like 1985 still resonates with me today, that I just love all that Folgers was about and all that that meant in my life because of when I saw it. I was actually in college when this ad premiered. Now, frankly, mom and dad never got greeted at the door like that. However, the feeling, the nostalgia of being home for the holidays and that waking up, the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. This ad is, in my opinion, one of those ads, one of those brands, one of those connections that if every brand could create that emotional connection today, you're guaranteed nostalgia 10, 15, 20 years from now. So if you are an established brand, you need to remind your customers of the relationship they have with you. You need to recall the rewards that your brand delivered to them and show them how that you can actually do that today by reinforcing how you are just as good or better brand today than you were the last time they experienced you. Because a lot of times we don't need new customers. We need more of the existing customers we have or have had. And if you're a new brand, if you're not creating an emotional connection today, you don't have nostalgia 10, 20 years from now. I believe one of the most powerful ways to create an emotional relationship with your community is creating a nostalgic connection with your brand. And when you have nostalgia, that is one of the ways a legacy brand can truly grow over and over again. My name is Ed Howie, and this is How We Grow Brand. I hope this helps and inspires your day. If any of this works on your business this week, I'd love to hear about it in the comments, or please message me directly. Can't wait to see what we chat about on the next episode. We'll see you soon.